2024, everyone. Happy New Year. I hope y'all's New Year's has been good so far. We're about a week in at this point. I did plan on doing this, honestly, the first of this month, like when the New Year started, because this is actually one of my goals for this month, and the rest of the year. But that didn't happen. Not everything works out how we plan, and that's okay. I've been sick for the past probably 2 weeks now going on to it. I'm not big on taking medicine, so it is my fault that I have been sick for this long, but we're okay. We're battling it, and anyone who is suffering with sickness right now with the way the weather has been, I hope all of y'all heal physically as fast as possible. So welcome to the podcast. I've been wanting to do this actually for quite some time. I've been thinking about it for the course of maybe a year now. And it's funny because when I went to go record this, I noticed on my voice memo a year ago exactly from today, I have like a 20-minute audio of me just talking to myself. Like, this has always been kind of something I wanted to do. I just didn't really know where to start, how to start, or if I wanted to, because I have a really hard time letting other people's opinions affect me when they shouldn't, because half the time I don't care about the person that the opinions are coming from, as bad as that sounds, but their opinion of me should not matter. My opinion of myself is what matters most, and this is something I want to do, and I would love that if something I said could help someone either process what they're going through or maybe look at something from a different perspective that maybe they've never thought to look at it from before. Just in general, again, this is something I've been wanting to do. Y'all are really gonna have to bear with me these first few episodes, and probably honestly this whole entire time, because I have an issue rambling. I don't know when to shut the fuck up sometimes. And especially since there's nobody here to tell me to shut the fuck up, I have to actually control myself and notice when I'm just rambling for no apparent reason. I'm still working on the title of this. I don't know exactly what I want to call the podcast. I've had a few ideas. The one that I'm really leaning the most towards is probably the Lexi Diaries. I don't know if that's corny or anything. Y'all are gonna have to let me know. Honestly, it might be really bad, but to me it doesn't sound too bad. There's a few reasons I really like that name. One, it's the name of my private story that I talk to all of my girl best friends on, and I just love just venting to everyone on there, and that would be my cat Willow. If you ever hear a cat, just ignore her. She's a very talkative girl. But back to what I was talking about. That's my private story that I literally I do hauls, I ramble about my day, I ramble about boys, just anything you can think of that I would need a girl's opinion or want the girls to know, it's on there. Also, another reason that I think the Lexi Diaries would be kind of a cute little name is because I love the Vampire Diaries. It's one of my favorite shows ever. Actually, it's not one of my favorite shows. It is my favorite show ever. I have rewatched it probably 6-7 times, and if you're also a Vampire Diaries fan, then you understand why I have watched it 6 or 7 times. It's not really a show you can just watch once, and if you haven't watched it, you definitely should give it a chance at least. It's one of the, I don't want to say one of the better, because there is actually a lot of really good early 2000s shows, but it's one of my favorites personally, and again, it actually is my favorite. And then the last reason I'm kind of leaning towards this name is just because, diary, like something you kind of just write all your thoughts into, or you rank an album that just came out, or you just talk about your day. Like, that's kind of what this podcast is gonna be, just kind of an assortment of story times. Like I said, music, like I love music, so I would love to do maybe an episode or a few episodes of like my favorite Taylor Swift albums, or albums ranking the songs, like my order of how I like the songs, just kind of like a review of either an artist or an album or songs, just stuff like that. I definitely want to have guests, possibly my sister, well, definitely my sister, and then maybe some of my friends. I'd love to do some Q&As, just if anyone has questions, whether it's related to mental health, relationships, friendships, just how to be an adult, although I don't really know how to do that myself. Let's just say more life in your 20s. We'll go with that, other than how to be an adult, because I honestly don't know what the fuck I'm doing, and I feel as if half of us adults don't actually know what the fuck we're doing. We're just a bunch of older kids trying to figure it out as we go. So that's a little rundown of the podcast in general and what it's going to contain, and I would love for y'all to listen if you have some extra time to spare, or if maybe you want to pause this, come back to it later, or if you're maybe not interested at all. I hope y'all have a great rest of your day. But if you are still here and you're wanting to hear about what my goals are for 2024, then let's get into it. So a little overview of my 2023 before we get into the year of 2024. 23, one of the best years of my life, honestly. Yet at the same time, it was a very big year of healing. I lost a lot of friends, gained a lot of friends. I went through a lot of challenges that I honestly didn't really ever see myself having to face, and I feel like they made me the person I am now. I'm a completely different person than I was even a year ago, and I feel like those things I went through this year, yet they might have been hard, and some things I've never experienced and never wanted to experience, but that's life, and we have to go through things to make us stronger. And now that I've gone through these certain things, I know I can face really most of anything that's thrown in my direction, as long as I know who I am and stay true to myself and the things I want. Then anything I lose kind of in the process, it's not really a loss. It's more either that person wasn't meant to be in my life forever, they were a lesson, or maybe that friend wasn't meant to be in my life forever. They were just for me to see what I do value in friendship and what I don't necessarily stand for when it comes to a friend. I've had to kind of go through a lot, and I've also learned a lot and experienced a lot. I went through what the fuck. I went to a lot of concerts this year, which I plan on also going to a lot of concerts next year. Like I said, music's a really big part of my life. I've loved that shit since I've been a kid. I'm sure most of us have. It's one of the very few ways I actually feel understood and I can actually heal is through music. So being able to go to so many concerts this year with my financial situation the way it is has been a really big blessing and something I look forward to every month, kind of, because it's kind of been a show every month. And it's just such a nice experience to be able to be in the same room with a bunch of people who just love and appreciate the music you're listening to, and it's really healing. And I don't know, I'm rambling, like I said. Okay, so that was my year of 23. We're gonna go into 2024. So this year, I don't do resolutions. Okay, I've never been one to really do resolutions. I feel like I set myself up for failure most times with them. I set these goals for myself that I will never, ever be able to achieve, and then I get upset when I don't achieve them and I fall short, when it's because I'm setting very unrealistic goals for myself. Wow, I completely lost my train of thought. Whereas this year, I didn't want to do resolutions, but I also wanted to set goals for myself that I knew would help my mind, body, and soul, and help me become just even a better version of me this year, because there's definitely more I can work on. There's more that each and every one of us can work on. I feel as if I don't feel like we're ever done learning or loving or experiencing this life. We all have to obviously learn things in our own way, but I feel like we can help ourselves grow a lot more if we know ourselves. And this is kind of a way for me to get to know myself a little bit more and kind of set standards for myself to be the person I want to be. So yeah, I've seen a lot on TikTok that people were doing I think it was ins and outs. I think that's what it was like categorized as on my TikTok, was people were doing ins and outs. So things they wanted to put into their daily life or just into their year of 2024, and then things they wanted to stop or quit this year. So I have made a little list for myself of things I want to leave and things I want to start. And maybe if y'all want to take some things from this and add some things that you would like to start this year, or things you didn't think that you would maybe want to leave into last year as well. I'm just going to share my list with y'all. I'm so bad at this. I'm so sorry, everyone. Again, y'all are really going to have to bear with me. So we're going to start with things to start. Okay, so for one, a good morning routine. So where I work, I have to get up very early in the morning. I typically go in at 3 in the morning, so I have to wake up at 2 in the morning. And me and my snooze are best friends. I don't ever wake up to my first alarm. I have an alarm set for 1:50 to take my dog out, and then another one set at 2:20 to wake back up so I can come up from taking my dog out and go back to bed for an extra 15-20 minutes, so I can just get up, throw my clothes on, and leave the door. Leave for work, not leave the door. What the fuck? That's not good, okay? I've realized a lot that when I get to work, I'm not actually awake at all. I don't want to be there. The first hour, 2 hours absolutely drag because I'm not even awake yet. And I just feel like a really good way I could break this is starting my morning not going straight to work. And maybe, having a few minutes for myself. So what I really am going to start incorporating into my day-to-day routine is when that 1:50 alarm goes off, I'm not going to go back to bed. I'm going to get up, I'm going to take my dog out, and I'm going to come back up here. I live on the fourth floor. That's why I'm saying come back up also, is because I live on the 4th floor of these apartments, so I have to go down 4 flights and then up 4 flights because my dog is petrified of the elevator. So when I get back up here, I want to be able to just either listen to a podcast or maybe put a vinyl on and actually be able to wash my face and take my time in my morning, other than throwing clothes on, brushing my teeth, and running out of the door as fast as possible, and still most likely being 10 minutes late. So I just want to make sure I'm on top of my morning and I'm actually having time for myself and not just going straight into making coffees for everyone else. So the next thing I would like to incorporate is a photo a day. This is something that I kind of did last year, but it was unsaid, and I wasn't consistent with it. I would really like to actually be consistent with taking a photo a day this year, whether that's literally just a mirror selfie or a picture of my cats, just something to document my day-to-day. The next thing is no phone after 8 p.m. So like I said, with me getting up so early, I typically don't have this problem. I'm usually asleep by 8 o'clock, if I'm completely honest. But if I'm not, I want to be off of my phone at 8. Because the latest I will go to bed is 9 o'clock. That is the absolute latest. I will let myself stay up if I have work the next day. So if I'm off my phone by 8, that gives me about an hour to just decompress from the social world and seeing everyone else's lives shoved in my face, and just having time to either read or journal or just freaking sit with my thoughts, or even turn an episode of Friends on. Okay, like I feel like it's fine to watch a little bit of TV, but I don't want to be consuming that much media, I guess is what I'm trying to say. I don't want to be consuming too much media throughout my day in general, but after 8, I just would like to make that me time and not time for me to see what everyone else is doing. So next is daily vitamins. This is already something I do, but I did want to put it down because towards the end of the year, I was very bad with staying on top of my vitamins, which is, I feel, a reason I am very sick. I could just be delusional. That's actually a serious problem I have. I live in my own little land, but I want to get back on my daily vitamins, and we have been, and I'm very proud of myself. The next thing is 5 meals at home a week. I like to cook, but I don't cook a lot, if that makes sense. Like, I enjoy cooking, but it doesn't happen very often because I live alone. I do have a roommate, but we don't share meals together. It's not that type of roommate situation. I eat by myself every night. I choose what I eat every day. So I just want to make it to where I'm eating 5 meals at my house and not eating out more than 2 times a week, like just for money purposes and my own health purposes. Like, I just rather be fueling my body with food and that I know what's in it, other than going out and not really eating what's best for me and my skin. And if you eat good, you feel good, and I like to feel good, so I just would like to be more on top of my nutrition this year. The next thing is a 3-month haircut. So this one's kind of random, but my hair grows really fast. So what I would like to start doing is every 3 months getting just a little trim off the bottom. I'm done dyeing my hair completely. I've decided about 2 months ago that I was just done. I couldn't do it anymore. I don't want to dye my hair anymore. The upkeep's just annoying, and just I like the way that my hair feels when I don't do anything to it, like my little virgin hair. So we're just gonna let it grow back out, and it already is really almost there. So we're just gonna try to stay on top of my haircuts and make sure the hair stays healthy. Next one is meal prep for breakfast. I need to get on top of this. It's been a week and I have not done good at this, if I'm completely honest. So meal prep for breakfast, like I said, I go to bed. I get up really early for work. So I don't typically have time to make myself breakfast, and I'm not necessarily hungry right when I open my eyes. So I just want to take some time at the end of my night to be able to actually not necessarily pack me a lunch, but get some things together that I can eat for breakfast in the morning, like either get some yogurt and put it on the bottom shelf so I make sure to grab it while I'm filling my water in the morning, or slice up some strawberries so I can grab those, or put some cereal in a container so I can get that to go. Just stuff so I'm eating better at the beginning of my day at work, because I typically don't eat my best the first half of my day because of work. We don't have the best food options there, and I just want to be able to actually eat good at the beginning of my day and start my day eating good. This next one, go out once a month. This is going to be a really hard one for me. I'm not going to lie to you. But it's not necessarily go out, like go to the club, shake some ass. Like, no, it's more go out and be social once a month. Would I like to go out to the bars with my friends maybe once a month? Yeah, maybe. Definitely not more than once a month. I'm not typically a girl that likes to go out and social drink. If I'm gonna have some drinks, I'd rather just go to dinner with some friends and have some drinks. But I mean, if that's a thing we choose to do, okay. But I mainly mean like just, again, go out and get drinks with friends like once a month, or have a girls' night once a month. Go bowling with all of my friends once a month. Just something once a month to kind of look forward to, because I feel like day-to-day life can just get a little dull and boring. And even if you have your dream job and you have the bestest of friends, like life can get kind of routine sometimes. So I feel like just going out once a month to spice some things up, maybe try something you never have before, just something to look forward to. The next one is a gratitude jar. I, again, have not been good with this either. I actually haven't been able to go to the store and get an actual glass jar to be able to do this. But I have been writing on sticky notes and keeping them. I just haven't had necessarily a jar to put them in. But I want to be able to document one thing a day I am grateful for. Like I said, just with all the bad in the world and just the world in general, we just need to appreciate the little things, because I feel like we just forget about them sometimes. Next, reusable bags. So I want to quit using plastic bags this year. Not necessarily any reason, like I'm not trying to save the planet, but just I feel like any part that I can do to help out is a little part, but it's something, right? I don't drink bottled water already. I haven't for a while. I have a Brita that I use for my water, and I just feel like getting rid of plastic bags as well would be a good way to kind of play my little part in helping keeping this planet clean. So that's all my things to start. Yeah, that's basically it. So now we're going to get into things to leave. So these are a little deeper. Not necessarily like, oh, I'm quitting alcohol, or I don't know. It's not anything like that. It's more just things mentally that I would like to stop doing or just not pull into my 2024 self. So things to leave. For one, dressing for others. So that dressing for others, that kind of sounds weird. I don't necessarily dress for others, but let me kind of break it down for you. So when I tend to go out, I love getting ready. That's one of my favorite things to do is picking out an outfit. Like, I love Pinterest, going on Pinterest, looking at outfit inspo and just trying to kind of, what the fuck? Kind of trying to resemble the outfits that I see on there, or I'll see a cool outfit on Instagram and maybe try to remake that with pieces from my closet. I try not to dress basic, if that, in the nicest way. Like, I try to spice up my style a little bit. I don't necessarily want, I don't know how to say this. I don't necessarily dress to be sexy or the hottest girl in the room. I dress to be the coolest dress in the room. Like, I want someone to compliment my outfit because it's cool, not because I don't even have titties, so I can't even say because my titties are out. But if you get what I'm saying, please help me. Like, I hope you do. But I have a really hard time being anxious when I do choose to dress how I want to dress sometimes, because it's not necessarily the most feminine or the most girly, and I'm not necessarily going to attract the most guys. But that's just something I would like to leave in 2023, because again, getting ready and picking an outfit is one of my favorite parts about going out. And if I'm not dressed how I want to be dressed, I'm not going to be comfortable and I'm not going to have a good time. So I really would like to start just continuing to be myself and dress for myself and not worry about what other people are going to say about my outfit or think it's weird or that I'm not sexy enough. But I just want to focus on how I feel in the outfit. And if I feel confident, then I'm wearing it. And that's that. Next is impulse buying. I am so bad at this. I could be worse, but I definitely could be better. So that's what we're going to work on. We're just not going to swipe our card just because we know we have the money. Okay. We can't be doing that this year. I need to save my money, and just not impulse buy. Okay. I don't need everything just because it's cute or just because I know I'll use it. Like, I need to be more practical. Next is doubt. This kind of ties into doubting, again, my outfits and just doubting myself in general. And it also ties into this podcast, because one reason I haven't done this for so long is because I doubt myself. And sometimes I don't think I have anything original to say or anything important to say, or I don't see why someone would want to listen to me, because what the hell do I know? I'm just a 21-year-old girl who is just trying to figure this shit out myself. So I doubt myself a lot, and I don't feel like I can ever live up to the expectations I have of myself in my head sometimes, and I just really need to stop that. I really need to start it again ties into the gratitude jar. I need to be grateful for everything I have, and for I just lost my train of thought again. Okay. I just need to not doubt my intelligence or doubt just myself in general. I have a really big problem all of my friends think I'm let's go with beautiful. Okay, all of my friends will say I look beautiful, and I just won't feel beautiful, and I just need to stop that. Like, I need to stop doubting and thinking the worst possible things of myself when 90% of the time nobody else is thinking that but me. Like, I you are your biggest critic. I know I'm not the only one. Like I feel like every person struggles of being their worst critics, and we need to stop doing that, because if we don't love ourselves, then who will? And we just need to appreciate our little wins. And if we fail, that's okay. That's life. We're meant to fail. If you didn't fail, I would be worried. I would be scared of you, honestly. Like you're never gonna know the right way if you don't fail. If that, again, made any sense. If I had a quarter for every time I said, if that made any sense, just in this podcast alone, y'all tell me how much money I would have. Please, y'all should count. Anyway, next is inconsistency. So this ties into everything else, okay, guys? Everything I'm leaving ties into everything else, kind of, that I'm starting. Just inconsistency. I want to be more consistent in the gym. I want to be more consistent with my nutrition, with eating right. I want to be more consistent with hanging out with my friends. I want to be more consistent with taking my vitamins, with just everything. Just, we're done being inconsistent, okay? If we say we're going to start something, we're going to finish it, okay? Because we're going to. I literally don't even know how else to build on that, other than we're going to. We need to stop being inconsistent. Consistency is key. So then, just kind of to wrap it up, these, what the fuck? Okay, just to kind of wrap it up, those are all of my, things to start and things to leave. But I do have I called it the 24 hard. Me and my sister called it the 24 hard. It's a list of just personal goals, not really things to start and leave this year, but personal goals for myself on my day-to-day life that I would like to incorporate into my day-to-day life, and things that I might already do, but I want to just consistently stay on top of it to just better myself this year. So I'm just going to kind of run through these pretty fast. Not really a lot to talk on with these, but we'll just run through them. So one of my top goals is a trip this year. I want to take a 3 to 5 day trip with either my sister or maybe some friends, just to go out of town for the weekend. Like, we don't have to go on a plane and go out of the country or anything like that. Just a little trip, just with everyone, just to go hang out and get away from our normal lives for a little bit. I feel like that would be really nice and refreshing. The next one is to read a chapter or listen to a podcast a day. I would like to read a chapter a day, but I put I put listen to a podcast a day, because some days I just can't read. I love reading, but some days I literally don't have it in me to even read a page. So I put a podcast a day, because I feel like that's another way I can kind of take my mind off of, again, everyone else and myself, and just kind of help better myself and my mind, and just stay on top of keeping me sharp in the brain. Did that make any sense? Whatever. 30-minute movement. Again, this doesn't have to be, like, by movement, it doesn't mean working out. Like, I mean, like, you could go on a 30-minute walk, 30-minute yoga. It could be a 30-minute workout, just 30 minutes of stretching, just 30 minutes to move around while I'm still able to. Like, while I'm still this young, I would love to take advantage of every second I get and actually move and not rot in my bed and rot my life away, because I would love to do that, but it's not always the best. If I'm moving my body, I feel a lot better about myself, and yeah, I just want to incorporate that. 3 Stanleys a day, that's 120 ounces of water a day. You're supposed to drink your body weight in water a day, I guess. I saw it somewhere. It might have just been Google. I'm not 100% sure. Or maybe I saw it on TikTok, like a girl was talking about how she wanted to drink more water a day. I don't know. But I don't even know how much I weigh. I roughly just went with 120. So we're going to go with 3 Stanleys a day. And then no alcohol on weekdays. I just turned 21, like I said, and I have had a problem with just buying a drink every time I go out to get food, and that's not a good thing. I don't necessarily need a drink every time I go out, so we are going to limit that, and we're not doing any alcohol on weekdays, so only on weekends. And honestly, that shouldn't be too hard for me. But this is kind of just to limit myself so that I'm not spending $7 on a drink every time I go to get dinner. Yeah, that's really all I got. I really hope everyone has a beautiful year. If y'all aren't big on resolutions either, maybe y'all want to do what I did, just make a list of starts and finish, things that you don't want to carry into this year with you and that you would just like to leave behind, and then things you do want to start this year to better yourself and your mind and your body and just become the best version of yourself that you can be. Chase all of your deepest desires this year, please. If you have a dream, chase it. Nobody's holding you back except for yourself. And that's one thing that I've really had to tell myself, is that literally nobody's judging you except for yourself. And also, like, nobody knows what they're doing. We're all just trying to figure it out, and you might as well do something that makes you happy. So fuck it. If you fail, again, that's how you learn. And you'll find something else that's most likely gonna be better for you anyway. So try, fail, just chase your dreams, babe. Live fearlessly. Don't worry about, again, what everyone else is thinking about you, okay? Think about yourself. Love yourself. Feed into yourself, and everything around you will fall into place, I swear. And just please take it one day at a time. I feel like every year at the beginning of the year, we're all very hard on ourselves and think that we need to have it all figured out. And especially with these resolutions, like, we set these resolutions for ourselves and we don't necessarily accomplish them, or we feel like we failed them within the first 3 days, and we're already like, oh fuck it, maybe next year. Like, no, it's a day-to-day challenge, and it's the same. It's mental things. Same thing with your mental health, with your physical body. Like, everything's day-to-day. You're not going to feel your best every day, and that's okay. Just take it one day at a time, and please, please, please don't be too hard on yourself. This is the year of loving yourself and taking care of yourself. And I just want y'all to know that I love you, and I hope that some of this made sense to you, and hopefully it will help you. And if not, I'm sorry. Hopefully the next episode does a little better. If y'all want to listen to me talk about anything in specific, please let me know. My Instagram is Lexi Cruz with 2 S's. My Snapchat's the same. And I do have a public Snapchat, so I am free to answer anybody. And if y'all want me to do anything specifically on the podcast, just let me know. That's really all I got. I love y'all. And again, I'm Lexi Cruz, and thank you for listening. I'll talk